Dating is something else, right? Like, hey, I'm no relationship coach, anything like that, or dating coach, and none of that kind of stuff. I can only talk from the experience that I have as a person who's dated, right? So I think I had heard this somewhere before, and I thought, wow, that is true. I think the person actually said, why keep pouring into an empty cup, right? Why keep pouring into an empty cup? And sometimes I think a lot of us think that, you know what? If we give more, because this is what I get out of it, if we give more, maybe the person will like us a little more, right? Maybe the person will appreciate us a little more. Maybe the person will, give us a little more time, right? We don't know, because all we're thinking is, especially as guys, like, yo, I want to do what I got to do, so that way I can get her to see me, to acknowledge me, because I've already done the first step, right? I was able to get her number, or how corny some of them try to do now, give you their Instagram or whatever. But I've got her number, and I what I'm saying, we've been busting up back and forth and everything like that. So it's always this this need to want to chase, to want to do stuff. And once again, like I always tell you, I've been so guilty of it, right? So just like most men. And so you figure, you go say, hey, look, let me pour a little bit in a cup. Come on, let's go out. Let me take you out somewhere, and we'll go do such and such and such. And that happens. And then other times again, you're like, well, let me take you out again, right? Then sometimes it turns into, let me take you out again. But, fortunately, hopefully, as you get older, you start getting wiser, and you start limiting these times when you start pouring too much of yourself into an empty cup. And why is it an empty cup? Who knows why it's an empty cup? Maybe she, got done bad by other guys back in the day. Maybe, she just um, got out of a situation and she's not really feeling it. Or maybe she's just not feeling you. And if she's not feeling you, then guess what? It might as well be a hole in that cup, because you're just going to keep pouring and pouring and pouring. Because there's the cup will never get full. And the cup will never get full because this person may just not be feeling you. You might not be the person for them, right? So, you keep pouring like a nut, and then the next thing you know, then sometimes, it'll be like, oh wow, wait a minute, hold on. Yo, I'm pouring in that cup. Wait a minute now, hold on. That cup look like it's almost halfway full. Or is it halfway empty? But hold on. Yo, I think she finally starting to come around. Now, when you're a young boy, you 20, 30, something years old, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But as you get older, you start to see that, dag, man, I wish I would have thought like this when I was younger. Because you know what? You save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money on trying to fill up a cup that's never going to get full. So you're sitting thinking to yourself, oh man, and you pour and you pour. And the translation typically with men is that their time and money, and you pour, and then you're thinking to yourself, well damn, hold on. What does my Bank of America say? Whoo, wow. I went out on another date. I spent another $150 on a date. And then as soon as I call, I get you have reached 215 267, whatever, right? And of course, not telling all of the stories, but we right now this is what we're focused on, and I've had enough of these bad types of stories. So you trying to fill somebody else's cup, whether that be in a romantic relationship, whether it be in a friendship or family, like we always say, is worth it, worthless. And you know what you got to do? You got to start realizing when it's time for me to stop pouring, right? Because you know what? All this juice I'm giving to put in this cup, I could be doing better things. Let me see. A gym membership at LA Fitness is what? $29.99. I could go do that. I could go do some martial arts. I think that's like probably anywhere between 70 and $100 a month, right? I can invest in some better headphones so I can go walk around that track. And how about this? I can go buy my kids some more sneakers. I can go do a bunch of different things instead of continuing to pour into an empty cup. So if you're a person that feels like you're pouring into an empty cup with a person, then you know what you need to do? Because think about it. How many times has this happened? How many times have you poured something into a cup? And I'm just talking about actually pouring something into a cup. How many times have you been somewhere and you poured something into a cup and a person stops and says, wait a minute, hold on. I appreciate that. Now let me pour some in your cup. Right? Now, when you find that type of person, you know for the most part, hey, listen, I'm winning because guess what? He or she is doing there. Hey, look, they've decided to pour back into my cup. So now this cup doesn't seem like I'm just pouring into something that has a hole in it. It's a cup that seems like it may get filled. It may get filled with the prospect of you and me. But too many times, too many of us, we keep pouring. And because you don't technically have a cup to see if the cup is getting filled up or not, you know what I mean? A lot of us do. We just go about and waste our time. And it's going to still happen with people wasting our time. But it's only up to you. It's only up to me when we decide, hey, look, you know what? Nah, stop. Hammer time. No, stop. Pour something into me, dog. Pour something into me. Because I'm sick of always pouring into you. Because the funny thing is that when of course the more you pour into somebody, because it's taken from you, whether it's your time, whether it's your money, whether it's even your emotions. You know what I mean? Whether it's even your emotions. Have any of you like have you done this before? Have you been like emotionally kind of attached to a person or dealing with a person, and then you feeling all good about yourself, you feeling all good about them, and then the next thing that happens is that you stop receiving that energy from them. You call them, they don't answer the phone, they don't call you right back, right? You want to see them, but then they put you on because this one girlfriend I had, she called her before, called. She was like, and I was surprised she even said this because this was like 20 something years ago. She was like, yeah, well, you're like my high guy, and I was like, excuse me, what the hell is a high guy? So don't you be the high guy out there. Don't you be the dude that you know what I mean? Anytime she wants to sit down, talk about advice, talk about all that, she might give you some every now and then or whatever. But for real, you know what I'm saying? If that's not what you want, if that's not what you need, right? Stop it. Because you're too good to be a high guy. Let the other nut be a high guy. Because guess what? While you're being the high guy, somebody's being the behind guy. Right? You know what I'm saying? So we're not playing high guy anymore. I mean, unless, because I know how sometimes, yeah, we're cool. We've been cool. We used to mess around. We're cool. So, you do have some platonic relationships with the opposite sex. I get it or whatever. But for the most part, we're not playing that. But listen, just make sure when you're pouring into that cup, just stop for a minute because it's real easy to see. Just stop for a minute and seeing if that person is pouring back to you. When you text them, does it take them 4 hours to text you back? You text somebody hi, you know what I'm saying? You text them hi at 12:15 in the afternoon. They text you hey at 6:15 at night. They ain't like it. They don't like you, dog. They not feeling you. Oh, I was just busy. I was just busy. Such. Okay, we'll give you that one. Let's do it again. What you doing tomorrow? Right? Because at a certain point, we don't need to be phone pirates. We don't need to be on the phone all the time, right? Because we grown and we all drive and we all got a couple dollars, right? Yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Let's yada 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 tomorrow. Hour go past, 2 hours go past. Text message. Oh, I can't. I'm going. to the moon tomorrow. So maybe when I get back, we could link up in a few weeks or a couple weeks or something like that. No, dog, out of here. So you know, and I know, we all know when somebody is not, you know what I'm saying, on the same kind of field that we feel that we should be on with them. And that's okay. Because guess what? Everybody's not going to like everybody. Everybody's not going to be attracted to everybody. Everybody's not going to even make an attempt to like the other person. Sometimes somebody might just give you a number to get you out of their face. That's the way the game is, right? You dig? So, but just remember, you know how it is. You know, when you're a player, you got to remember it's part of the game. So if you're going to play, you got to understand. But the one thing you should understand is that don't keep pouring into that empty cup, right? Because guess what? They get to drink everything, and eventually, guess who's going to wind up being thirsty? But hey, until next time, live life. Don't let life live you.